You're in a group. Everyone starts laughing. And you laugh too, even though you didn't hear a single word. If you have hearing loss, you've done this. Not once, but again and again. You nod. You react a second too late. You say yeah or exactly, hoping it fits. Not because you're fake, but because you don't want to be the one who breaks the flow. And after a while, this doesn't even feel strange anymore. It just feels normal. Because when you live with hearing loss, the need to fit in doesn't just exist, it gets amplified. You're not just trying to connect, you're trying to keep up. And that changes you more than you think. I remember forcing myself into noisy places, bars, restaurants, big groups, just to feel included, just to feel normal. But the reality was different. I was catching maybe 30% of what was being said. The rest? Guessing, reading faces, laughing when others laughed. Speaking became a risk, so I spoke less. I became easier, more agreeable, less visible. And that's the part nobody tells you. Hearing loss doesn't just change what you hear, it changes how you behave with people. Because without realizing it, you make a silent deal. If I want to stay included, I have to make it easy for everyone else. So you pretend, you laugh, you erase your needs. And at first, it works. You stay in the group. But something feels off. You're in the room, but not really in the moment. You're surrounded, but not really connected. And over time, a thought settles in. Maybe real connection isn't for me. Maybe this is just how it is. But here's the truth most people never hear. Hearing loss didn't make you invisible. Over adapting did. There's a difference between adapting and disappearing. A healthy approach sounds like this: I have hearing loss, so I communicate what I need. A people pleasing pattern sounds like this: I have hearing loss, so I try not to bother anyone. One creates connection, the other creates distance. Because when you hide your reality, people can't meet you where you are. And when they can't meet you, you stay alone, even in a group. That's why it's exhausting. Not just the noise, the acting. You're not tired because of the sound, you're tired because of the performance. So here's the shift: you don't need to become more normal, you need to become more honest. Not in a dramatic way, just in a simple, grounded way. In a group, stop trying to follow everyone. Pick one or two people. Stay close. Create your own conversation inside the group. That's where real connection happens. If the place is too loud, stop forcing it. Suggest something quieter. Or accept this truth: not every environment is built for you. And that's not rejection, that's awareness. And one of the biggest shifts you can make. Stop measuring your value by how well you keep up. You don't need to prove you can function like everyone else. You need to create conditions where you can actually connect. Because connection doesn't come from performing, it comes from being understood. And people can only understand you if you stop hiding what you're going through. Here's the paradox: the more you try to hide your hearing loss to fit in, the more disconnected you feel. But the moment you own it, you create space. Not for everyone, but for the right people. The ones who slow down, the ones who listen, the ones who meet you halfway. And those are the only relationships that will ever feel right. So this week, just notice. Notice when you pretend you understood. Notice when you stay silent instead of asking. Notice when you push yourself into places that drain you. And in one small moment, choose differently. Speak up. Move closer. Ask again. Not to fix everything, just to stop leaving yourself behind. Because you don't need to be included everywhere. You just need a few places where you can finally be yourself. You don't need better hearing to connect. You need to stop hiding how you hear.